Hey everybody, it's that time again. It's time for me to make a new video. Today's video is going to be a tutorial on how to use a deck of playing cards to get a love reading. This is intended for heterosexual couples, but if you're homosexual, I will give another video later on describing the details of how to figure that out. And if you're ace, I'm sure you probably don't really care, but I can come up with a version for you as well if you'd like. So this method of divination is rather old. It stems back to the invention of playing cards themselves. People like to play cards. They also like to play with the cards to see if they can tell their fortune. This type of reading is a intuitive-based reading combined with a bit of tarot knowledge and just a general feel for having done these readings a lot as a teenager. I'm going to do one for me and my husband, so we'll see what crops up. In this type of reading, the four most important cards in the deck are the Queen of Spades, the Ace of Spades, the King of Hearts, and the Ace of Hearts. The Queen of Spades in this case represents the female querent, and the King of Hearts represents the male intendant. And you can see down here that there is the ace representing her affections and the ace representing his affections. Based on these cards and the cards that come up in between them, we'll be able to see what's going on in the querent's love life and what's holding them back from being able to fully commit to one another. So here we have the deck of cards. All that's been taken out are the rules cards, the blank cards, and the jokers. This deck's never been shuffled, so I'm going to go ahead and shuffle it real quick so we can get this demonstration underway. Okay, I know the deck doesn't look any different, but it's been shuffled now. Okay, now I'm going to divide this deck into 4 equal piles, placing 1 card at a time. Like so. 2, 3, 4. Now I'm going to pause this video so I can finish doing this with both my hands because it's going to go a lot faster. Now you should have 4 equal piles of 13 cards each. This is the only time when you're going to have a set number of cards in each pile. So if you're not sure you did this properly, you can go ahead and pick up the pile to count it before you go ahead with the reading. Next, we start with the pile on the left. We're going to flip it over, like so, and then we're going to go through the cards. Oh, ran into the Ace of Spades already. Alright, so this pile is all done. We're going to hold on to that for the next round. Okay, now we have our next set. We just keep taking out cards until we get to the persons in question, which, once again, we have arrived. So, I'm going to put that pile to the side. And now we go ahead and we grab this third pile here. Okay, and we start removing the cards. Okay, we've reached the end of that. And the final pile. We go through that. Okay. And we've reached the end. Now we have this pile of cards, which we're going to separate into 3 separate piles. Okay, now as you can see, the cards have been separated into 3 more or less equal piles. We're going to go ahead and flip over the first one again, just like we did before. And we're going to start removing cards until we get to the important ones. I can already see that this pile is a lot smaller. And now we place it here to the side. Now we do the same with this pile. Ooh, that's still a big pile. Gonna go ahead and place that down here at the bottom. And then we do this last pile here. 3, and that pile was completely eliminated. So now we're down to this little pile here. We're going to go ahead and shuffle it again according to the number of times the letters of the person's name. And then once we're done doing that, we're going to divide it now into 2 piles. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and do that at this time. Okay, now as you can see, the cards have been separated into 3 more or less equal piles. We're going to go ahead and flip over the first one again, just like we did before. And we're going to start removing cards until we get to the important ones. I can already see that this pile is a lot smaller. And now we place it here to the side. Now we do the same with this pile. Ooh, that's still a big pile. Gonna go ahead and place that down here at the bottom. And then we do this last pile here. Okay, and that pile was completely eliminated. So now we're down to this little pile here. We're going to go ahead and shuffle it again according to the number of times the letters of the person's name. And then once we're done doing that, we're going to divide it now into 2 piles. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and do that at this time. Okay, so now we have our 2 more or less equal piles. This is going to be the final pile before you get the reading. So I'm going to do the same process of elimination that I did before, where we start removing the cards that do not pertain to this situation. Now you see we're back down to these 2. And then we're going to do the same in this pile. We flip it, and we flip it, and we flip it. Ooh, okay. Well, that one's no good. So, we stop here. Okay, and now we're ready to do the final reading. Here is the final reading. I'm going to flip it over, and then I'm going to spread it out in a circle, or as much of a circle as I can make with this. Okay. As you can see, the King of Hearts and the Queen of Spades ended up together, and the Queen of Hearts' affection lies right next to her. In between her affection and the affection of the King of the Hearts, you see the 7 of Diamonds. This 7 of Diamonds represents a physical obstacle, a barrier, if you will, something that is holding them back from being able to be together emotionally. Because I know who the querent is in this, I can say with full honesty that it's probably just energy levels. And then, if we look over here at the King of Hearts, you can see that there's 2 barriers between his feelings and himself. So these are personal issues that that particular querent or intendant has to deal with. These being the 6 of Hearts and the 9 of Clubs. The 6 of Hearts is emotional issues, probably surrounding childhood, and the 9 of Clubs is a more physical issue. In this case, probably just lots and lots of fucking work. So that includes today's video tutorial on how to use playing cards in order to get a love reading. I hope you enjoyed this. If you liked it, go ahead and give me a thumbs up so I know to make more of this type of content. Thanks for your time and have a great day.